Welcome back, dear friends, to the Crimson Academy's course on the Kitab-i-Iqan. In this section, we're covering the last section of paragraph 99, together with paragraphs 100 through 101. Baha'u'llah continues the theme he started in the previous paragraphs, namely the true claim of a manifestation of God. In these paragraphs, Baha'u'llah also counsels and warns the followers of the Bab to be conscious of the tests and tribulations awaiting them. Some following key points to note in these paragraphs. The eye of the heart, or inner eye, is a symbolic expression of the ability to perceive spiritually through the power of the human soul. The two powers of the inner and outer eyes play complementary roles in human beings. In the realm of the spirit, proofs and testimonies created by the mind of man cannot demonstrate the truth of the station of the manifestations of God. The proof of a manifestation of God in the domain of truth is the Spirit itself. The proof of a manifestation of God in the land of testimony is His Word. Baha'u'llah counsels the people of the Bayan to be conscious of the tests and tribulations awaiting them. In one of the concluding paragraphs of the first part of the Kitab-i-Iqan, paragraph 99, Baha'u'llah counsels the uncle of the Bab to cleanse the eye of his heart from attachment to the things of the world, so that he can realize the infinitude of divine knowledge and behold truth so clearly that he would need no proof to demonstrate his reality, nor any evidence to bear witness unto his testimony. In the Baha'i writings, the eye of the heart, or inner eye, is a symbolic expression of the ability to perceive spiritually through the power of the human soul, rather than the physical sight, or the outer eye. This is also known as the power of inner vision. His Holiness Abdul-Baha states, "I am in the blessed place of the Holy Land, and thou art in foreign parts, and I do not see thee with my material eyes, but I see thee with the eyes of my heart." And friends, this is from Abdul-Baha, Tablets of Abdul-Baha Abbas, Volume 1, page 64. In another tablet, Abdul-Baha tells the recipient that thou shouldst purify the eye of the heart from the beckonings of water and clay, that thou mayest comprehend the infinite degrees of knowledge and realize that God is too manifest for thee to cling to any evidence or need any proof to demonstrate his being. And this is from Baha'i World Faith. This is Abdul-Baha in Baha'i World Faith, page 266. Abdul-Baha continues the tablet by illustrating the nature of the inner eye and how it can be cleansed. He states that God has given us both the outer sight to view the lights of the sun and inner vision by which we may perceive the glory of God. But the outer vision may become a hindrance to the inner eye, which alone can perceive. Abdul-Baha further explains, "The bestowals of God, which are manifested in all phenomenal life, are sometimes hidden by intervening veils of mental and mortal vision, which render man spiritually blind and incapable. But when those scales are removed and the veils rent asunder, then the great signs of God will become visible, and he will witness the eternal light filling the world. And friends, this again is from Abdul Baha in Baha'i World Faith, page 266. He points out that we must endeavor with heart and soul in order that the veil covering the eye of inner vision may be removed, that we may behold the manifestations of the signs of God, discern his mysterious graces, and realize that material blessings, as compared with spiritual bounties, are as nothing. This was from Baha'i World Faith, Abdul Baha, page 266. The two powers of the inner and outer eyes play complementary roles in human beings. The outer eye assists in the intellectual perception of the world, whereas the spiritual realities are perceived through the inner eye. However, if our inner eye is not developed, and the mirror of our heart is not cleansed, then we will not be able to perceive the signs of God. Our existence becomes dazzled with the attractions of the physical world seen through our outer eye. The retina of our outer vision, though sensitive and delicate, may nevertheless be a hindrance to the inner eye, which alone can perceive. And that was also, friends, from Abdul Baha in Baha'i World Faith, page 266. In paragraph 100, Baha'u'llah continues the theme he started in the previous paragraph. He describes that the proof of a manifestation of God depends on the spiritual status of the observer. He distinguishes three different spheres: the realm of the spirit, the domain of truth, and the land of testimony. The realm of the spirit is the world beyond physical existence. This is the condition of abstraction where God is above everything man-made, whether material or conceptual. In this station, no tongue, however deep its wisdom, can befittingly magnify his name, nor can the bird of the human heart, however great its longing, ever hope to ascend into the heaven. And this is again, friends, is from Baha'u'llah, Gleanings from the Writings of Baha'u'llah, page 3. Hence, proofs and testimonies created by the mind of man cannot demonstrate the truth of such a station. Explaining this station, Baha'u'llah quotes a hadith that has been narrated from the 12 Imams of Shia Islam in different forms. God was alone, there was none else besides him. Baha'u'llah gives an explanation of this hadith. By this is meant that the habitation wherein the divine being dwelleth is far above the reach and ken of anyone besides him. Whatsoever in the contingent world can either be expressed or apprehended can never transgress the limits which, by its inherent nature, have been imposed upon it. God alone transcendeth such limitations. He verily is from everlasting. No peer or partner has been, or can ever be, joined with him. No name can be compared with his name. No pen can portray his nature. Neither can any tongue depict his glory. He will forever remain immeasurably exalted above anyone except himself. And this is from His Holiness Baha'u'llah, Gleanings from the Writings of Baha'u'llah, page 150. Truth is conformity to fact or actuality. Many philosophers have pondered on the nature of truth and how it can be defined. The manifestations of God reveal truth by expounding on the meaning of divine knowledge. Each revelation represents the relative truth for its time. Hence, a manifestation of God is the reference point against which everything else is measured in a particular age. The knowledge revealed by him gives meaning to other realities, and all things are known only by the light of his recognition that he hath ever been and will continue forever to be known through himself. And friends, this is from Kitab-i-Iqan, page 91. In this domain, the proof of the truth revealed by manifestation of God is himself. As Baha'u'llah states, say, the first and foremost testimony establishing his truth is his own self. And that was from the Gleanings from the Writings of Baha'u'llah, page 105. The land of testimony is the domain of reason and testimony. God provides evidence to prove the truth of a manifestation of God. This is the word of the manifestation of God himself, which is the most conclusive proof for his truth next to his own self. Baha'u'llah explains, he hath established the words, he hath revealed as proof of his reality and truth. This is verily an evidence of his tender mercy unto men. And this is from Gleanings from the Writings of Baha'u'llah, page 105. Abdul-Baha also states, the proof of the validity of a manifestation of God is the penetration and potency of his word, the cultivation of heavenly attributes in the hearts and lives of his followers, and the bestowal of divine education upon the world of humanity. This is absolute proof. And friends, this is from Abdul-Baha in the Promulgation of Universal Peace, page 341. The followers of the Bab are referred to as the people of the Bayan in the writings of Baha'u'llah. In the last paragraph of part 1 of the Kitab-i-Iqan, Baha'u'llah counsels the people of the Bayan to be conscious of the tests and tribulations awaiting them. Baha'u'llah implores every Babi, including all the learned, the sages, the divines, and witnesses, not to overlook the wishes and warnings given by the Bab. In particular, they are told to be vigilant, not to inflict on the promised one of the Bab, him whom God shall make manifest, what the followers of the Quran did to the Bab. He calls the promised one the quintessence of truth, the inmost reality of all things, the source of all light, and the king of divine might. There are many such admonitions and warnings in the writings of the Bab. For example, the Bab addresses his followers, O ye who are invested with the Bayan, ye shall be put to proof, even as those unto whom the Quran was given. Have pity on yourselves, for ye shall witness the day when God will have revealed him who is the manifestation of his own self, invested with clear and irrefutable proofs, while ye will cling tenaciously to the words the witnesses of the Bayan have uttered. On that day, ye will continue to rove distraught, even as camels seeking a drop of the water of life. God will cause oceans of living water to stream forth from the presence of him whom God shall make manifest, while ye will refuse to quench your thirst therefrom, notwithstanding that ye regard yourselves as the God-fearing witnesses of your faith. And this is from the Blessed Bab, selections from the writings of the Bab, page 141. In paragraph 101, for the first time in the Kitáb-i-Iqán, Baha'u'llah makes an indirect reference to his forthcoming revelation and the potentialities enshrined in it, as attested by the beloved guardian Shoghi Effendi. This, he, Baha'u'llah, furthermore declares, is the King of days, the day of God himself, the day which shall never be followed by night, this springtime which autumn will never overtake, the eye to past ages and centuries, for which the soul of every prophet of God, of every divine messenger have thirsted, for which all the diverse kindreds of the earth have yearned, through which God hath proved the hearts of the entire company of his messengers and prophets, and beyond them those that stand guard over his sacred and inviolable sanctuary, the inmates of the celestial pavilion and dwellers of the tabernacle of glory. In this most mighty revelation, he moreover states, all the dispensations of the past have attained their highest, their final consummation. And again, none among the manifestations of old, except to a prescribed degree, have ever completely apprehended the nature of this revelation. Referring to his own station, he declares, but for him no divine messenger would have been invested with the robe of prophethood, nor would any of the sacred scriptures have been revealed. And friends, this was from the beloved guardian Shoghi Effendi in God Passes By, page 98. Paragraph 101 also indicates that Baha'u'llah anticipated the opposition that he would receive from the Baha'i community and the sufferings they would inflict upon him. In reference to Mirza Yahya and the people around him, Baha'u'llah writes in the later part of the Kitab-i-Iqan, in these days, however, such odors of jealousy are diffused, that I swear by the educator of all beings, visible and invisible, from the beginning of the foundation of the world, though it hath no beginning, until the present day, such malice, envy, and hate have in no wise appeared, nor will they ever be witnessed in the future. For a number of people who have never inhaled the fragrance of justice have raised the standard of sedition and have leagued themselves against us. On every side we witness the menace of their spears, and in all directions we recognize the shafts of their arrows. And that was from His Holiness Baha'u'llah in the Kitab-i-Iqan, page 249. Thank you, friends.